Welcome in. I am the CryptoBullGod. In today's video, we're going to analyze several XRP charts, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring everything together and create a clear picture on why, in my opinion, over the next several months and even longer, why the view for XRP is epically bullish. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share with others so that we can spread awareness within the community. You can find me on Twitter at CryptoBullGod. You can also find me on Tradingview at CryptoBullGod as well. I'm up here. There's a ton of charts on here. I do not just chart XRP. I chart a ton of other altcoins as well as Bitcoin. Clearly, as you can see, based on the paintings behind me, I'm not a maximalist. I'm simply looking to maximize my opportunity within this generational wealth transfer opportunity, and I'm here to share it with you, genuinely looking to help you. Quick disclosure before we get started, that none of what I am sharing is financial advice. I'm very simply put, looking to educate, help, and spread sound technical analysis, not hype, to the community to help others in making informed decisions. When making your own personal financial decisions regarding what to invest in, when to buy, when to sell, ultimately, that ownership falls on you. My hope, however, is that you can utilize what I share as another data point in helping you to think through what may be best for your own personal approach. So with that being said, as I stutter, let's get into the charts here. So the first chart we're going to look at is just very simplistically a daily view. What I like to see here is, first off, this 10-day looks like it's going to be crossing up above the 20-day. That's always good to see. I mean, to have all of the moving averages in descending order where you have the 10, 20, 50, and 200, they're highlighted over here, in descending order moving up, that's very bullish. The other thing I would like to point out here is we're seeing higher highs and higher lows. This is, very simply put in technical analysis, a clear indication that there's been a trend reversal. We as XRP investors have been brutally beaten in this bear market. And finally, what we're seeing is follows. When we bottomed in March with the rest of the market, March of this year, we saw a higher high here. We then saw a higher low here. We then saw another higher high here, right? Comparing this high to this high. We then, after completing this higher high, we fell lower here, but this low was higher than this low. We then since had that really enthusiastic move up in November up here, and we hit a high all the way up here. And now we've created another higher low. This is a clear indication, looking at the daily, that we've seen a trend reversal, and we're looking very bullish, which is great to see. The other thing we can see from a pattern perspective very quickly, this isn't really a falling wedge. This is more of what I would term a falling channel. I don't see a wedge pattern. A wedge pattern would be wider up here and narrowing more so in here. We broke out of this channel. We've since back tested the channel as support, and I would anticipate that we'll keep around 54 to 55 cents as an area of support, and we'll continue pushing up. Another chart that I like to look at, I frequently look at, and again, some of these charts are on Tradingview, so please follow me at CryptoBullGod if you'd like more charts like this. This is a 3-day chart. I love looking at the 3-day charts on a lot of the crypto projects. And on this chart, the extremely bullish thing that I like to see on this chart is we got our first golden cross on the 3-day chart. 50 is above the 200, 20 is above the 50, the 10 is above the 20. The other thing I like to see is that this candlestick, our most recent candlestick, which will have the 17th, 18th, and 19th, so this one will actually close out at 7 p.m. this evening. This is above the 10-day. So I really want to see price action. Now, this is a volatile asset, right? So we could see price wicks go below here into the low 50s or high 40s. But I really want to see price action for the most part in terms of closing candles, maintain above this green line around 54 to 55 cents. That's what I'd like to see. Let's turn it over to the weekly. On the weekly, this is epically bullish. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. First off, for all of you XRP investors out there who withstood all of this time period from late 2018 through 2020, God bless you, because you have infinite amount of patience if you are able to withstand this and not sell any of your holdings, recognizing something more larger and bullish would eventually come. And that's what we got. What I was drawing here was essentially an ascending triangle. I can't take credit for this. I saw somebody else post this on TradingView, and I thought it was a very valid pattern. I drew it out myself. We broke out of this the week of November 16th, and we have not looked back. We have not back tested this area of support. It would be very reasonable. This zone in here, it would have been very reasonable to assume we might have back tested this whole area between 35 and 33 cents as support. However, we have not. I've drawn two other areas of resistance here, historical resistance. Ideally, I want to see us close above this line here, which is at 55 cents. You can see here, it served as a level of support. Once we fell below resistance, temporarily got above, but never sustained a price movement above this 54 to 55 cent level. A wick here of resistance. We hadn't revisited this level since June of 2019. Dear God, that was brutal. But we have since broken above the level, which is good to see. It's not just good to see us break above the level, but what you want to see is you want to see us hold this area of support. So again, this 54 to 55 cent area, I want to see us hold this area of support. We need to break through this other area of resistance at about, 78 cents. Once we get through 78 cents, this whole zone, which again, if you look back here, again, the chart is on TradingView, so you can check it out at TradingView, CryptoBullGod. I've specifically highlighted that this is a key area looking at these weekly candles where this has been prior resistance. In this case, there's some wicks and candle bodies here. These are candle body resistances at 271, 272. And then and the thing with XRP is depending on what exchange you looked at, here this is Poloniex. It looks like the all-time high here I'm highlighting is 349. I thought it was 353, but I'm saying it's 349. 349, 353, 323, I think, on Coinbase, depending what exchange you go to. This is the prior all-time high. Similar to Bitcoin, once we exceed this 350 area to 320 area, that's when we're going to enter price discovery and things are going to get epically fun. And that's when we enter our fib extensions, which we'll take a quick look at. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. The other thing I like to see looking at the moving averages here is if you focus on the blue line and the purple line, the last time this blue 21 weekly moving average crossed above the 200 weekly moving average was back here in 2017 when we saw our huge, massive increase in run in price that led up to our bull cycle top. We're about to get that cross again. Keep an eye on this. If you can, pull up a weekly chart. Watch for this 21 weekly moving average to move above the 20. It is extremely bullish. And again, the reason I'm saying it is extremely bullish, I'm basing that comment on prior price history in 2017. That's all we can do in charting, okay? We use past data to make probabilistic statements about the future. None of this stuff is a guarantee. It's me simply using data to make an informed difference, an informed opinion regarding the future price direction. With that being said, let's get off the weekly and take a quick look at a really interesting view. Again, this one's on TradingView. This is inverted. This is an inverted view on the weekly. So what we're doing is we're reversing price direction. Everything that's bearish, if the price were to go down, is up here. Everything that's bullish is down here. This was a rising wedge. What I was trying to point out on the inverted view is that if you invert the prices and you look at what's going on, again, it's about thinking outside the box and taking a different perspective on the charts. This was a rising wedge, which is bearish. Now, because that's a bearish pattern, meaning prices, once they break this, this formation here, prices will break down. Well, that's bullish in this case for XRP because we've reversed or inverted the price direction. So if prices are falling on this chart, it means that the price, the XRP USD value, is increasing. This looks extremely bullish. Look at this chart for a second and forget that prices are inverted. Where's our support? Like if you're looking at this, how does this not, for a moment, just forgetting that the prices are inverted, how does this not look bearish to you? All all right? And the fact that it looks bearish because the prices are inverted, it's extremely bullish. The reason I wrote timber here is I expect prices to bleed down to these levels down here. Again, it's just another view showing you that things are looking extremely bullish for XRP. This is a monthly view. Want to keep things moving along here. I see we're at 10 minutes. I don't want to make these videos too long. I see this area as a zone of prior resistance. It's extremely bullish to me on a monthly level. This month, we still have 12 days left. If we can close above this zone, and it looks like the top of this zone is at about, well, I'll call it 57 cents. So if we can get this weekly candle close to look sort of like a hammer candle, that's extremely bullish as well on the monthly view. I do have some, if we look at the 2-month view here, this is one that, again, I had on Tradingview. All of these are fib extensions. These are realistic fib extensions, in my opinion, of price levels we may possibly hit coming up in 2021/2022. My current view, real quick, by the way, is that the bull cycle top will be sometime between, looking at Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin's top will be sometime between November of 2021 and July of 2022. That's my own personal view. So XRP would, we all know it's a laggard. It tends to follow behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the driver of the value right now in the crypto space. Whatever your viewpoint is, that's the case. We want Bitcoin to do well. If Bitcoin does well, XRP and every other single altcoin like Ethereum will do well. It's just a reality. No matter what your viewpoint is, if you're a maximalist, it's self-defeating. You have to understand that those are just the facts. Anyway, I would anticipate that if Bitcoin's bull cycles between November of 2021, its top, and July of 2022, XRP might lag that by about a month. So anyway, these are some fib extension prices I have up here. The most important thing on the 2-month view is, and I want to stress this, any time that you take a chart and you increase the amount of price data that is contained within each candle, meaning we move from a 1-day chart and we move to a 2-month chart, so there's 2 months of price action contained within this candle, there's more credibility behind the result that you're seeing. Now, there's less data that goes into this chart because there are less candles that will comprise a 2-month candle, right? So if XRP, if we can see here, that this chart on Poloniex has been around since, I can't see because of the video, this has been around since July of 2014. There'll be a lot more daily candles in here, and so there'll be a lot more information for moving averages. But the patterns you're seeing and the price action you're seeing and the formations you're seeing do not have as much credibility. There isn't as much backing it as there is within a 2-month chart because each candlestick contains more information. So this is a lot more credible of a view in terms of taking a step back, bigger picture. What's going on here? What sort of conclusions can we reach? This was a falling wedge. That's the easiest way to put it. This was a falling wedge, okay? We just broke out in November. Well, technically, we actually broke out this candlestick here, the September-October candlestick. I fully anticipate this price action to continue moving up, and once we break the $2 to $3.50 level, what's going to happen is prices are going to essentially explode. Now, we're going to have pullbacks. Don't get me wrong. We're going to have massive pullbacks, especially in a volatile asset like XRP. You can expect significant pullbacks. But ultimately, if you're patient, you're going to see fib extensions reach up to this level. By the way, I will include a link to my XRP price projections video that very clearly and simplistically lays out price targets I'm looking for, different wave movements up and down, price movements I'm looking for coming up real soon here. So I think it's really important that you check it out and consider using that as another data point in your own analysis and making an informed decision. Now, the ultimate bread and butter to bring everything home for me personally, and what I would encourage you to become quite familiar with if you are not, is the Xrp Btc chart. We have just broken out of this massive falling wedge. One of the important hypotheses that I've shared with everyone time and time again is that all of the price action that took place in this prior bull cycle, the same sort of price movements are playing out here. It's called a fractal. The important thing I want to stress to you about a fractal, because I don't feel like I've seen this communicated enough. A price fractal does not mean that the level of price appreciation, meaning if we went up, I don't know, 10,000% here within 5 weeks, it doesn't mean you can expect the price to go up 10,000% in 5 weeks. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is the direction, the relative price movements and direction of what we can see here should mirror in many ways what we saw back here. The price appreciation levels, in my opinion, will not be as great as they were before because the market cap of XRP was a lot smaller then. You can argue with me all day there's institutional involvement, but the fact is it's going to be a lot harder to move the market cap size that it is now than when it was millions of dollars or whatever it was back in 2016. It was just way too small and it was a lot easier to manipulate the price, all right? So that's one thing. The other thing is you shouldn't feel discouraged if you saw the breakout. If we zoom in here, this breakout, this initial breakout up to the 0.702 fib retracement level that I quoted in my price projections video, this took place in a matter of like 2 weeks, all right? The fact that it's taking longer now doesn't change my hypothesis that we're not going to hit this level of this 0.702 fib retracement at the 0.0001744, all right? Nothing about that has changed. In fact, if we zoom in here, what we can see is we've broken the falling wedge. What I want to see personally right now is I want to see this weekly candle stay above this 50 moving average. At worst, it closes a little below it, but I want to see it stay above this 50 moving average. The next thing I'd like to see in the next couple weeks is I'd like to see this 10-day cross above the 50. That's very bullish. The last time we got the 10 crossing above the 50 on this weekly XRP BTC chart, that's when we got our massive price explosion. I am personally fully anticipating that very shortly, I don't think it's going to happen this month, especially because of the holiday. I don't see us hitting this 0.702 fib retracement level. But whether it's January or February at the latest, I personally think it's January. I always get nervous about communicating time frames. In my opinion, those are the hardest things to communicate. I'm a lot more confident on the price levels. But in my opinion, the way I'm looking at it right now is by January, I would expect us to revisit up to around this 0.702 fib retracement level. And that brings me to my next and final point here, I believe. I think when we're performing an analysis of XRP and where we might expect prices to go, it is important to consider where Bitcoin's at. You have to. You can't just look at things in a silo environment, okay? This is Bitcoin right now. All right, and I actually had to adjust my projection just today. I had things figured out yesterday, but Bitcoin decided to do whatever the hell Bitcoin decides it wants to do, which will be XRP at some point soon. But we initially topped right out around the level I had tweeted about, actually. I hadn't seen anyone else tweet this, but I had said 23,600, and we hit 23,777, I think. Well, we just hit 24,217, so I had to kind of adjust my analysis. But the long and short is, if we go back to our prior bull cycle, okay? And again, the hypothesis that I've stated in my Bitcoin videos is that all of this price movement in the prior Bitcoin cycle, I mean, really this is a bear cycle and then a bull cycle. This movement here, all of this, is looking eerily familiar here. It does not look exactly the same. That's not what I'm saying. Fractals, again, do not have to look exactly the same, but there's enough similarities that we can draw the conclusion that prices should follow the general direction. That's another way to put it. That's what I'm seeing here. Prices look eerily similar to what we saw back here. Well, if we zoom in here, let me explain to you what we saw last time and then connect it to what if history is an indicator of what we'll see this time and something similar happens, I'm going to bring it all home and share with you where I see a temporary top in XRP in the not too distant future here. What happened was Bitcoin broke its all-time high by 16%, okay, 16.08%. Once it broke its all-time high, it began to retrace. Okay, it began to retrace. This day right here, this is a daily chart actually. I thought I was on the weekly there for a second. Sorry. This daily chart here shows at this point in time, okay, Bitcoin is just kind of hanging out, it's retracing. This was the point where XRP entered its first massive wave. That is to say, that was this high right here, this month. Let's bring it back to this level here. So on the Xrp Btc chart, what I'm saying is when Bitcoin was consolidating there, that was this massive candle in the Xrp Btc chart when we went all the way up to the 0.702 fib retracement. Let's bring it back to the Xrp USD chart. For those of you who struggle with an Xrp Btc ratio, it's literally just taking two numbers and dividing them to look at the price ratio. That's all it is. It is this candlestick right here. Okay? We jumped from, like a half a cent all the way up to over 7.5 cents, almost 8 cents. So you can do the math there. I think it's like a 16x. Okay. Not good with math. I'm just an actuary. Anyway, and I'm not good with a sense of humor either. That was pretty dry. Anyway, so let's bring this all home. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how I came up with my theoretical initial top that we could see very soon. I personally think it's very possible that it'll happen by the month of January. So again, this is when we exceeded our prior all-time high in the prior bull cycle by 16.08%. Once we retraced at this point, this is when XRP made its massive first one, what I call its wave one movement. Okay. If we come to the current time, look at what just happened. We have just exceeded our all-time high, which was on the exchange, on Bitstamp exchange, was 19,666. 666. That's no bueno. We exceeded that all-time high, and we've gone 23.14% above at a new all-time high of 24,217. Okay, so the level of appreciation that Bitcoin has shown above its prior all-time high is greater than that in its prior all-time cycle. Remember, we went 16% above in 2017. Excuse me. Now I'm telling you that we're going 23% above. Okay, so let me show you some quick math here. Let's hide this for the moment so we can focus. So this is 2017. So let me clearly explain these numbers. This was that first initial pop in the price of XRP, that wave one movement. We hit just about 8 cents. At that top, the XRP to BTC ratio was this value. Okay? The prior all-time high that we hit, I think it was in 2014, it was 1,163. When XRP made this move, okay, when it made this move, the Bitcoin price was at 1,100. Remember, the price was consolidating. It was below its prior all-time high once XRP made this move. This 1,100 in relation to its prior all-time high represents 94.6%. Stated differently, when XRP busted a nut and moved up, it was at Bitcoin was at 94.6% of its prior all-time high. All right? Let's look at current times. Now, in our current times, first off, remember, and you can go to the XRP price projections video to see this, I'm stating that the XRP BTC ratio for its initial move up is going to hit the 0.702 fib retracement level, at least a value close to it. But if it's similar to last time, which is my thesis, my hypothesis, excuse me, then we will hit the 0.702 level. So that's the value I'm using here. That's what this is. So I'm saying, okay, once XRP breaks out, it's hitting this XRP BTC ratio. All right. What was Bitcoin's prior all-time high? 19,666. We have moved 23.14% above that. Remember, we just looked at the chart. That was a value of 24,217. So the first thing we need to solve for, again, if history is an indicator of what we can expect this time. Now, I'm directly using it as an indicator, but again, this is just to give you an idea of a price level we may hit. I'm not saying it's going to hit this exact level. I'm saying I'm using history to tell us where we may initially top before a large pullback. All right. So the implied price for BTC, all right, let's do the math together here. This is really simple. Well, first off, we want Bitcoin to consolidate, right? We're way up at 24,000. We need that thing to consolidate. So it's going to be 19,666, and we're going to multiply it by the same level that it pulled back last time, right? We pulled back to 1,100, which represented 94.6% of its prior all-time high. In this case, that means Bitcoin would be at 18,600, right? If we pulled back 5.4%, okay? Which is 1 minus the 94.6%. But we also have to account for the fact that Bitcoin has accelerated at a higher rate than it did in the prior bull cycle. Again, last time we were only 16% above the prior all-time high prior to consolidating. That was 1,350. This time we're 23.14% above the prior all-time high at 24,217. We need to account for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the difference between the gain in growth of Bitcoin, okay, and I'm going to multiply that by our prior all-time high, and we can see what my hypothesis is that when Bitcoin consolidates near a level of 19,000, we're going to call it 990, or you can call it 20,000, that is when XRP is going to make its first initial top. And the way we can get the XRP USD value is we take the Xrp Btc ratio. Again, it's just two price ratios. That's all it is. And we're going to multiply it by Bitcoin's target consolidation price, and we get $3.49. So, not being as precise with things, I think it's, if we're using history as a precedent for what we can expect for the future, I would anticipate at this point, unless if something substantially changes, that that XRP will initially wick. Again, a price wick. XRP is not going to hit this price level and stay there. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. We can expect the price of XRP to wick somewhere around 340 to 350. That's what I am fully expecting, unless something substantially changes. So, again, I hope you found this video helpful. I know this was a little more lengthy, but I'm hoping that you really found the content helpful. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. So until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward.